When you think of Antarctica, you probably picture a frozen, lifeless wasteland, ice, wind, and maybe a few stubborn penguins. But once upon a time, this place was nothing like that. Millions of years ago, Antarctica was a lush tropical world. Massive trees, warm swamps, and creatures straight out of a sci-fi movie. If you were there 90 million years ago, you wouldn't be shivering in the cold. You'd be sweating through your shirt and watching your back for prehistoric predators. So, what kind of prehistoric nightmares roamed this lost world? Let's step back in time to when Antarctica was the jungle from hell. While Antarctica is today known as the loner of the 7 continents, sharing no natural borders, it used to be much more social in a sense, being located higher up and closer to other continents. In fact, for a good chunk of history, it was actually connected to the rest of the world. 90 million years ago, Antarctica sat closer to the South Pole than it does today. But thanks to a much warmer global climate, it was anything but frozen. Scientists have discovered fossilized roots, leaves, and pollen buried beneath the ice, proving that this place was once covered in dense rainforests. Think of something like the Amazon rainforest, but crammed near the bottom of the world. Giant ferns, massive conifer trees, and thick, humid air. The sun never set for months, creating a bizarre world where prehistoric creatures thrived in eternal daylight. But with paradise comes danger. And, oh boy, were there monsters? Imagine you're wading through a murky swamp in ancient Antarctica. The water ripples. Something massive is lurking beneath the surface. Suddenly, bam! A 30-foot-long crocodile explodes from the depths, its jaws snapping shut like a bear trap. Meet Antarctosuchus, an absolute menace of a reptile. This prehistoric beast belonged to a family of giant crocodiles that dominated the dinosaur era. Unlike modern crocs, which spend most of their time lurking and waiting, these bad boys were fast, aggressive predators, built like tanks with armor-plated scales. And here's the scary part. Antarctica's warm climate meant that these croc monsters had no reason to hibernate. They were hunting year-round, making the swamps of prehistoric Antarctica a complete death trap. If you thought dinosaurs were only stomping around North America and Asia, think again. Antarctica was home to some seriously weird dinosaurs that evolved to survive in extreme conditions. One of the most famous? Cryolophosaurus, also known as the Elvis dinosaur. Why? Because this 20-foot-long meat-shredding predator had a funky-looking crest on its head that looked exactly like Elvis Presley's hairdo. Scientists think it may have used its crest for display, to impress the ladies or intimidate rivals. And then there's Glacialosaurus, a herbivore the size of a bus, trudging through the ancient Antarctic forests. These plant eaters had thick bones and dense muscles, possibly an adaptation to deal with the long, dark winters. Even in paradise, life had its struggles. You're walking through the dense jungle, stepping over giant ferns. You hear a splash. You look down. There, in the muddy shallows, something blinks at you. It's not a crocodile, it's something worse. Prehistoric Antarctica was home to giant amphibians that would make today's frogs look like harmless pets. These massive, slimy beasts could grow up to 6 feet long, with gaping mouths filled with needle-like teeth. Some species, like Metaposaurus, were ambush predators, waiting motionless in the swamp until something got too close. Then, chomp, and the best part? These things weren't even dinosaurs. They were more like giant, semi-aquatic newts, proving that prehistoric horror didn't always have to come with scales and claws. So, if this place was so rich in life, what the hell happened? How did a tropical paradise turn into the coldest place on Earth? The answer? The planet got colder. A lot colder. By around 34 million years ago, a massive climate shift caused global temperatures to plummet. The Antarctic Circumpolar Current, a swirling ocean current that circles the continent, cut off warm waters from reaching Antarctica. The rainforests froze, the rivers turned to ice, and the creatures that had once ruled this jungle vanished forever. But here's where things get interesting. Some species actually survived. Not everything went extinct when Antarctica turned into an icebox. Some creatures adapted in ways we never expected. Take modern ice fish, for example. These bizarre, translucent fish have antifreeze proteins in their blood that let them survive in sub-zero waters. Then there's the Weddell seal, which can hold its breath for over an hour while hunting under Antarctic ice sheets. And, of course, penguins, the last remnants of a time when Antarctica was ruled by giants. Here's the big question. Could Antarctica ever return to its prehistoric jungle state? With climate change warming the planet, scientists are seeing unprecedented melting in Antarctica's ice sheets. If warming continues, some experts predict that parts of Antarctica could become green again, with moss, shrubs, and even forests creeping back onto the continent. Sounds cool, right? Not so fast. A warmer Antarctica wouldn't mean dinosaurs making a comeback. It would mean rising sea levels, extreme weather, and devastating changes to ecosystems worldwide. So while the idea of a new Antarctic jungle might sound awesome, the reality? Not so much. Snakes in Antarctica? Sounds impossible, right? But back in the age of dinosaurs, massive serpents slithered through the undergrowth of the ancient rainforest. Fossil evidence suggests that prehistoric Antarctica was home to large, cold-blooded reptiles, including some that resembled modern pythons and boas. Scientists are still puzzled by how these creatures thrived in a land where months of darkness alternated with months of endless daylight. But here's the kicker. These snakes weren't just surviving, they were thriving, proving that life always finds a way, even in the strangest conditions. While the surface of Antarctica is a frozen wasteland today, what's buried beneath could rewrite history. Scientists drilling deep into the ice have discovered ancient microbes and hints of long-lost ecosystems trapped for millions of years. There's even speculation that entire prehistoric lakes, untouched by time, may still exist beneath the ice sheets. Could they hold undiscovered life forms, fossil evidence of creatures we've never seen before? If there's one thing Antarctica has taught us, it's that this continent is full of secrets, some of which we're only just beginning to uncover. So, the next time you picture Antarctica, don't just think of ice and penguins. Imagine towering trees, terrifying crocodiles, and dinosaurs stomping through the undergrowth. Antarctica was once a lost world of monsters. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, somewhere deep beneath the ice, fossils of even weirder creatures are waiting to be found. What do you think was the coolest creature that lived in ancient Antarctica? Drop your answer in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more prehistoric adventures.